Now look, we've tried to make Pikachu work in the past. We tried with Noctowl, we tried with Joltik, we tried with Miraidon, we've tried with Lost Box, we've tried with Magneton, we've tried with a combination of any of these options all in one deck. It hasn't worked out perfectly. You want to be able to Topaz Bolt every single turn? Stay tuned, this is the way to do it. Today we're taking a look at Pikachu and Blissey. Blissey used to kind of suck, I'm not gonna lie to you, but with the new Precious Trolley, you can fill your board with Chanseys, and that doesn't mean you need to use Buddy Buddy Poffin or any other jank way to find your basic Chanseys with 110, 120, 130 HP. And you're probably wondering, well, what does this have to do with Pikachu? Because Pikachu is a Terra Pokemon, you can use the Glass Trumpet onto Chanseys because they are colorless Pokemon. Then Blissey's Happy Switch ability can send those energies up to the Pikachu so you can deal 300 damage every single turn. It's wild, I know, but this deck is just insane at dealing monstrous damage all the time. If you want a Topaz Bolt like I do, stay tuned, this is the deck for you. We got a couple of other tricks which you'll see on screen in here, most notably Clemont's Quick Wit to really help us against the Regidrago matchup, which I won't go into detail now, but I'll tell you more at the end of the video for like specific matchups if you're really into that kind of thing. And this deck is insanely fun, it's insanely strong. We're just gonna get right into it. I can't wait to show y'all.
Just wanted to give a quick thank you to the lovely sponsors of the Hitmonchanting channel. If you need codes, you know where to go. Head over to ptcglstore.com and use code Hitmon to get 5% off your order. And be sure to check out Pokemon.gg, the best Pokemon card tracker and deck builder there is. Join Pokemon.gg by clicking the link below and use code Hitmon to get a free month of pro membership. Hitmonchanting playmats are finally here. Head on over to hitmonchanting.com to pick yours up today. Thank you to my sponsors for supporting the channel, and thanks to you for supporting me too. And now let's get right back into the video. Our opponent has called Tails, so they're flipping that coin and it's gonna be Tails because of course Tails never fails when our opponent uses it. Obviously, why would it work for us, you know? They're gonna choose to go first, which is a welcome change for my recording of this video. If we just start with an Arven and Precious Carrier isn't prized, we should be chilling. We got the Precious Carrier, we don't got a basic, so that'll happen to you sometimes. We had to mulligan 2 times, not the worst thing in the world. We have Iono here. Worst things have happened. I'm debating if I should lead the Pikachu or lead the Chansey in this scenario. I'm guessing the Chansey's probably better. Just because I don't know what they're playing, and if they take a KO, I want it to be on the Chansey so then we can activate Counter Catcher. Just we'll see what we're up against. It's going to be tough. Looks like Regidrago potentially. They got a big hand. It could be Regidrago or it could be Bolt. I've seen a lot of Bolts going... Okay, it's Drago. I've seen a lot of Bolts choosing to go first recently, which is really weird. But I think it's just to deny decks first like Drago, because Drago's not attacking second turn. So by you going first and you're denying them first, no matter what, they're still a turn behind. It's just you don't get access to Sada, which I think is pretty detrimental. But if they just attach Pass here, things might be okay. Again, starting the Pikachu on the bench is never the best idea, but that's why we have Clemont. So if we can get a really solid setup going this first turn of the game, if we can find our trolley, if we can find the rest of the cards that we need, then I'll be a happy guy. And the only potential issue I can see here is if we somehow top deck Arven, we're not going to be able to use the Turbo Energize to actually get our guys all set up. So it might just be an Iono angle. An Earthen Vessel coming through from them. They just not get anything? Is their hand all energy? That'd be kind of crazy if it was. If they just didn't get anything off the Vessel. Switch into Drago. I guess they're banking on us not attacking. Okay, so their hand was fine. Their hand was chilling. They got Squawkabilly. Their hand was fine. That makes sense then why they didn't get any energies off the Vessel. I think they would have preferred to maybe get a couple, though. Double Drago V-Star in the bin is pretty good for us. We just got to kind of wait and see what happens here. They're just going to pass it on over. We get a Vessel. And first and foremost, we're definitely going to bench a Pikachu. Let's Vessel away an Ultra Ball. We'll get these because we have a lot of Lightnings. I'll attach the Metal. And it's just going to be an Iono angle. I'm really hoping we find that Precious Trolley or at the very least a couple Nest Ball. Because we kind of need... We got the Nest Ball. We got a Chansey. Okay, this is fine. This is a fine hand. This just needs to get us Ninja. We use Chansey. because this Pikachu's not getting KO'd this turn. Hopefully, anyway. This is beautiful. This is a beautiful hand. And then we just pass. We're going to need to find a Switch and some Blissies next turn. Now, the good thing is we haven't seen any Blissies thus far. You know, obviously we have Boss in hand. There was one in the deck. It might just be another Iono angle to come through for us. They're benching a Hoot Hoot, which is fine. Doesn't really matter. Because they're playing the Hoot Hoot, I doubt they're playing the Hawlucha. I find that usually you're playing the Hawlucha if you don't play the Hoot Hoot. So I'm not super concerned about this Pikachu right now. Again, if they have an Ultra Ball here, things could get dicey if they just find Drago. Nest Ball gonna get another Ogerpon most likely, or if their hand's bad, it's another Drago. That's my viewpoint on this particular matter. Ogerpon, okay. So things could be fine for them. I could see them potentially Ionoing us as well. They're gonna attach. No Teal Dance. And they are Ionoing. I'm happy with that Iono 100%. I am fine. The only thing I don't want here is a Kyurem. If they Kyurem us, that's bad. This hand is okay. It's not the greatest, but it's not the worst. Here's a Teal Dance. If they're able to somehow find Kyurem and get rid of all of our Chanseys, I can see us being in a little bit of a pickle, but here's a double Teal Dance. I'm hoping they don't find their Dragos. Because they rotted, it could be just a shuffle. Like, obviously, the deck is shuffled, so all the cards that were at the bottom are at the bottom. Here's an E-Switch. They definitely have it, then. Oh, unless it's just a Dragon Laser. There's the Ultra Ball. Please don't get rid of Kyurem. I would be really, really sad if they did get rid of the Kyurem here. No Kyurem gotten rid of. Okay. There's a Drago coming through. It's really risky for them to call our bluff, say we don't have the crystal. Or wait, did they see our trolley? They did see the trolley, right? In their mulligan? They did see the trolley. That's so bad, because then they could feel comfortable just going for a complete Kyurem. Because they can technically get the Kyurem if they evolve. No, they can. With 2 cards in hand, they can't. Oh, and they have the Mew. They have the Mew, no Drago, V-Star, so they're really gunning for the Kyurem here, I think. It's just going to be a Legacy Star, or it's just a Dragapult play. Okay, it's just a Dragapult play. So we still have a chance. We still have a really, really strong chance. I think we have a guaranteed... We do have a guaranteed KO on this Drago. Right? Yeah, we do. Okay, that's good. Because it's just Vessel, Trumpet, do the thing. That's great. That's a bit of a mistake from them. I feel like they just think we don't have it here, but we do. Maybe they're thinking they can just get rid of us this next turn. I'd like to ideally find Clemont here. Let's Vessel away this Lightning. Now in the discard we have Lightning Grass, Metal attached. Let's get Lightning Grass again. First concealed card's gonna come through. We'll concealed away. We can just attach the Grass or the Lightning. It doesn't matter. We'll get rid of the Lightning. Draw these 2. Let's hope we find Clemont here. We do find Clemont. That's so huge. Okay. That is insanely huge. Do I want to drop the Pika? Not really. This I can throw over here. We'll Trumpet. Put these down. Now we just need to Happy Switch. Put a Lightning... We'll do the Lightning because we have the Grass in hand, right? We do have the Grass in hand. We'll do this just because we can get Kyurem or something. Attach the Grass here. Clemont's Quick Wit. We heal that Pikachu up completely. And then we Topaz Bolt here. This Pikachu's not getting KO'd this next turn. It's not happening. So by us getting that Topaz Bolt off, completely obliterating that Regidrago, I feel like, see, that's the thing. It's you're basically calling your opponent's bluff. Do they have it or not? Now, we should just have it again, as long as, yeah, we do have it with the Arven, as long as we just get a Glass Trumpet, which is why if you set this deck up, it just becomes so insanely strong, like ridiculously strong, because you can literally just do Topaz Bolt every single turn, after turn after turn after turn after turn. They're not doing anything, and that's kind of just that. We have the boss in our hand, so now they're getting rid of the Kyurem, but there's no attack this turn, unless, yeah, there's that Regidrago, because they've board locked themselves. We can boss if we just find Trumpet somehow off the top deck. We can grab that. Or if it's just an Arven, like if they retreat into Hoot Hoot, that's kind of bad. Because I don't really want that to happen. And like that also activates Fez and it opens the board, which is like what I don't want. But they didn't even retreat. They were really valuing that Hoot Hoot then, like insanely valuing. So let's just see if we can get the boss play, because that'll just seal the game. We can't, but that's fine. We do get the Ultra Ball, which is exactly what we needed. In the bin, we don't have too much, so let's Arven. Arven will nab the Trumpet, and it will nab TM Turbo Energize, which is also known as fodder at this point. The Night Stretcher can get us another energy, so what we'll do is we'll throw the Metal and the Lightning here. Powerglass is going to come down. We have the boss for game in hand. I don't think we're going to want to Iono, so let's get rid of Energize and Iono. Get another Blissey going. We need that Stretcher because a Stretcher is clutch. We have other Lightnings, right, in the bin? Yeah, we have Lightnings. So let's move Grass and let's move Metal. And that's the great part about this, is because literally nothing on our board is like able to take they're not able to take a meaningful KO on anything here. Let's grab that Lightning. And now with the Powerglass attached, we're like virtually unstoppable. We Topaz Bolt, take the 2 prizes here, and now we're literally just a single Glass Trumpet away from victory. Can take the 2 prizes. One of them may be a Glass Trumpet. No, one of them's a Metal Energy. That's actually fine. No, we don't even need a Glass Trumpet. We just put the Grass. We have the Metal. We throw the Metal. We do that. Easy. Now, what they can do, if they're able to find a Regidrago V-Star, even though they have 2 in the discard now, mind you, if they're able to find that and Cologne, they can get rid of the Pikachu like this. Now, that might present a bit of an issue. The reason I didn't want to play this Pikachu EX on the bench is because... Let's see what they have here, first off. There's a Fire Energy on the Radzard. What's this last card in your hand? It has to be Noctowl. Okay, no, never mind. They're just cooked. They're just insanely cooked. They misplayed that really heavily, I think. They had a really strong first turn. But maybe they're just goats because they want us to see the deck succeed. Topaz Bolt. 3 turns in a row. It didn't matter. They just got demolished. There we go. Get that dub on the Regidrago V-Star. Take our last 2 prizes of the game. Get that dub with our crazy Pikachu. Our opponent is calling the coin flip. They chose Tails Never Fails, and naturally, that's just the kind of night it's been, but we're gonna pull through. I already know. They're gonna choose to go first. Dang it. But maybe we can just get a decent setup as long as we can find a couple of Ball Search or that Precious Trolley in the opening hand. I don't know why we keep getting the most like devious opening hands possible, but at least they get a mulligan. It looks like Roaring Moon, which we need a basic because they can just gouge us and we immediately lose. We need any sort of basic search here, like a Nest Ball, Ultra Ball, Trolley, like anything. Genuinely anything here would have been the best option. Let's draw 1, which is a switch. Of course, not helpful, and they're going to go into the moon. We're going to draw for turn, and it's going to be Glass Trumpet, so this is going to be an attach and pass angle. And if they have it, they have it. Now, not the greatest opening hand. I mean, we play 3 Nest Ball, Precious Trolley, and 4 Ultra Ball, and then we also have, in addition to this Pikachu, we have 7 basics. So to not start any one of those cards in the opening hand, real unfortunate twist of fate, if you ask me. Their Nest Ball got that squawk ability. They're definitely going all in, and I don't see why they wouldn't. There's a baby Roaring Moon, which could be a little bit tough in this matchup. They're going to judge right away. Interesting. That gives us a little bit better of a hand. Again, now with that, Judge, Pokestop could be decent for us too. We're actually not a terrible deck for using Pokestop. They got Dark Patch, they got Catcher. Not the greatest. I personally would have squawked first. Because they went for a Judge there, that's actually fine with us. They're going to Squawk and Seize. Yeah, get rid of double Dark Patch. Okay, we might be fine. Like, Baby Roaring Moon's mildly annoying in this matchup because they can just swing into us. But we'll just have to see what happens. Now, we're not getting an attack next turn, which is pretty frustrating. However, if we can Arven get ourselves that trolley setup, go from there, I'll be happy. And then we can turbo energize hopefully off of this Arven and just go and do our thing. There's Radiant Greninja. Now, Radiant Greninja could technically just find a Dark Patch. If it gets a Dark Patch attached, yeah. So they have the baby Roaring Moon attack, which is really bad for us because they can two-shot with a single prizer. But then as long as they hit us once here, again, it's going to be tough. They need to get to a point where they can use like two-hit us. If they don't two-hit this Pikachu, we might be fine. Let's go for Arven. Hopefully we have our trolley. We do have our trolley. We don't have our Energize, which would have been real nice here. But the trolley's good just to help us get set up. And it can kind of save our butts a little bit. Let's trolley first. Don't want to be reckless here. We'll go triple Chansey, Greninja, and Pikachu. That's like the optimal board right there. Thank you, Precious Trolley. What we can do is we can retreat into... I don't want to retreat into the Pikachu necessarily, but we can retreat into the Chansey and pass, which isn't the worst idea here. I don't mind if they KO a Chansey. I just don't want them to hit this Pikachu again. We can try and Pokestop here, which might not be the worst thing in the world because we have a lot of items left in the deck. Let's see what we can hit. That was huge. I'm not going to complain about that. Earthen Vessel will allow us to get another attachment going. Counter Catcher's a big card to have here. These are all great cards. I don't think we're going to want to Arven next turn, though. So let's just get some energies going. We have a Lightning in the discard, so let's get rid of a Metal here. We have this other Lightning prepped and ready to go. We get Trumpet. We get Lightning. Okay, this is kind of how the main game is supposed to go. This is how we're supposed to get things done here. I'm going to... This is kind of rough, but I want to Trumpet these two over here, obviously. We'll attach to this Pikachu. Then we'll just pass. Gonna save that Metal Energy. Would be nice to concealed cards. Now, next turn, all we really need... We're gonna have the Counter Catcher because they're gonna be taking a single prize KO or a multi-prize KO here on this Pikachu. But we do have to keep in mind they got rid of 2 Pokemon Catcher. This is bumping them up to 90 damage off of the Vengeance Fletching, so it depends what the concealed cards plus Pokestop has on us here. They could get Sada. Sada would make our life a lot more difficult, but again, double Catcher. There's the Sada coming through. Double Catcher is not great. Yeah, this is just going to be... It really is going to come down to how they are able to play the matchup. Double Nest Ball Shoes. Again, both not great. This next turn where we would love to go for an Iono. Here's an Ultra Ball, going to thin the hand a little bit more, probably grabbing that Fez, which is furthermore why I would like an Iono to happen here. Because not only did they get rid of double Nest Ball, and they're down 3 Nest Ball, and they're down on Ultra Ball at this point, right? Yeah, that's what they used. And they got the Trekking Shoes. Oh, they kept it? It's definitely... Oh, it's... Okay, it's a different shoes. Okay. Phew, phew. Getting rid of the Ultra Ball. I hope they don't just find the Prime Catcher. That would make our life bad. It's possible that's prized. It's possible that they just don't have it. Because they can't go for a boss play. So if they just swing at the Roaring Moon, my goal is to Counter Catcher, bring up this Roaring Moon. And then hopefully combine that with an Iono. And just I hope that it sticks. They got rid of a Sada. That marks 2, 4 plus the 7 here. They do have enough, but they're not gonna, or they needed to do that to KO this Chansey. Okay. Again, I don't personally wouldn't have gone for that big of a play, just like that way specifically. But because now we can Counter Catcher, we're really hoping to bank big off this Pokégear. This Nest Ball isn't super important. So we'll conceal cards first because ideally we need 2 Chansey, but that's good. This is perfect for what we need here. Now we can Counter Catcher up the Roaring Moon with this energy on it. Put another Pika down. I'd like to Powerglass. Ultra Ball. I think it's important to keep the switch just to be safe. We'll Ultra Ball grab a single Blissey. Now I can Pokestop and just thin. The chance of it hitting an Iono is low, but if it does hit one, it's a little bit, like, dangerous. Let's just run it. Let's just go for this Pokestop here. Okay, they didn't. They hit a Blissey, but this is actually not that bad. Put this Blissey down over here. We could Ultra Ball. I think, honestly, just thinning is winning, to be honest. We have another switch as well. So this is fine. We'll just get Blissey. Blissey's not the worst attacker either because it can help us fill our hand. So we'll just do this. And big Pokégear. Pokégear gets us double boss. That's really rough. But this is fine because we can happy switch onto this Pikachu here. Then I want to leave this energy on this Blissey. And we just Topaz Bolt for the KO on this Roaring Moon. Now we're ahead in the prize trade. Literally what we got to do. We got to keep it up every single turn. Boss, boss, boss. Do our thing. And it's kind of easy to deal with these Roaring Moons. There's an Iono that we so desperately wanted last turn. It's not the worst thing to deal with these Roaring Moons because now we have a Powerglass option here. I think the best play is we can just get Metal, because then we can put the rest of these back, and we're more likely to draw into any of the other energies, like Grass Energy. So we'll do that. I can see with them going just to boss KO this Pikachu on the bench. Again, there's no way for them to come off the even prize trade unless we fall for it, pretty much. The Powerglass is really helpful here, because what it does is we just happy switch, Night Stretcher for an energy, and boom, we're swinging away again, which is really, really solid. Our deck is pretty huge still, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Again, Pokestop is really nice for us because it lets us just mill through the cards we don't need. And then we can, do our Glass Trumpet shenanigans and then go for it from there on out. This is fine. I'm really not too mad about this. Here's a boss's orders on the bench Pikachu. That makes sense. And I'm fine with that as long as we can boss this Moon here and just kind of turbo through everything else. There's a Pokestop for them. They get the Prime Catcher. They also have an option of using Fez right now. I know they have it in hand. I'm kind of surprised they didn't put it down. But I guess you do want that other Roaring Moon so you can start prepping it. But yeah, like, we're just going to need to get boss, and we're just going to need to get boss again. That's kind of the motive here. There's a Vengeance Fletching. That is actually perfect math for them, which is kind of bad. I mean, I was hoping they wouldn't get it. But this Pikachu's all ready to go. We can swing again, which makes me happy. Makes me smile. The Glass Trumpet is really, really good here. But I think, should I just go for the Pokestop? It's kind of risky because if we hit the boss, things become a lot worse for us. But I say we ball. Worth it. Very much so worth it. We can Nest Ball here, which can get us another Chansey. We didn't prize any, so there's no use leaving that bench spot open for a lucky bonus. This is just more of a thinning measure. We have the other boss. We have lots of Pokégear, so we should be able to find it, hopefully soon. Now, the Trumpet, we can double happy switch. So let's Trumpet, and let's get Grass and Electric is fine, because we happy switch these two, and we leave the Electric. That's a-okay. We can even put that here. Yeah. I'd also like to just Night Stretcher, get a Metal Energy, draw some cards. We have 3 Night Stretchers in the deck, so this is not like... This is more just us trying to guarantee we get a boss play. Gravity Mountain's fine as well because it just stops them from using Pokestop, even though I know that they have a... what's it called? I know they have a Prime Catcher in hand, so we'll double happy switch, get our groove on here. Definitely a boss angle onto this Roaring Moon. Now, this is where things get a little bit dicey. I think I should drop the Gravity Mountain because they've gotten rid of 2 Pokestops just to limit their usage of it. Again, because they're only going to be gouging if they want to KO this Pikachu. And the thing is I'm considering, should we just keep abusing this Pokestop, right? They're down 2 Pokemon Catcher. I think it's fine to bump it now. No, you know what? Never mind. We'll save it in case we need to Gravity Mountain Iono for a clutch play later on. We just get rid of this Roaring Moon. Take our 2. The Powerglass will probably kick back in. Yeah, my plan is that we're able to just find with Pokégear. We'll definitely just get a Metal Energy off the Powerglass, and we'll pass. Power pass, if you will. Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting go. There's the Fez. They're definitely going to swing on us somehow with the Prime Catcher. probably, yeah, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. I can see us getting judged here as well, which again won't be the worst thing in the world, because us leaving the Pokestop, like I said, we can Pokestop into Pokegears, which can get us the boss's orders, which we don't have anything here. We got the Gravity Mountain, we got the Trumpet, so we have the attack guaranteed. Again, them doing this is pretty bad for us. They got the Fez. There's the Vessel. It really is going to come down to this Pokestop hitting our Pokegears, not getting the boss, and our Pokegear needs to hit the boss in order for us to kind of pull through here. There's Vengeance Fletching on the Chansey, knocking us to even prizes. So this might be a bit of a challenge. I can kind of see that happening, but we'll see what we get here. We'll see what happens. Another Glass Trumpet's not the greatest. Let's Pokestop. That's not good. Our hope here is obviously we Trumpet. We can put these two. We can Trumpet again. We can swing with Blissey, but that does not matter. The Trumpet again, we can just make it varying energies. It really doesn't matter too much. But we have to Gravity Mountain Iono. Hope they don't find anything. And ideally, I'm not swinging here. We get the boss. Okay. Now, because we can get the Lightning Energy, I'm going to leave these. Just end the turn. We have boss in hand. That's fine. We can get the Lightning Energy. They've used Double Judge. That's what they have. Now, all they need is an energy, which they can get with no Dark Patch. They've used their Stretcher. They might not have any... No, they have the Sada off of the Iono. That's just how it goes. I'm not gonna lie. I think we played that game pretty perfectly. Still showed the deck literally just Topaz bolting every single turn. We never really got to make use of Clemont's quick wit here because of this Roaring Moon doing a little too much more damage than we needed it to. But nonetheless, I still think that was a good showing. It literally just came down to, do you have it off the 3 cards you get after the draw for turn on the Iono? Do you have exactly what you need off of it? They just had it. If they didn't have it, we had the game. So that just goes to show how close that was here with Pikachu EX. Now, what did you think of my Pikachu EX Blissey deck? This deck is a ton of fun to play, and it actually does like really well against like big basic decks or like V-Star decks. This deck shreds. It does extremely well. I'm gonna go over the deck a little bit. I think there's definitely room to cook it more and make it more like long game viable, if that makes sense. The idea is sound. I think the idea works really well. There's a couple of things here and there I think that could be tweaked. Firstly, I think a Fez would be really good in here, just to drop it in the late game and draw through the rest of your deck. Because the deck is inherently so turbo, with you drawing through a bunch of cards, with Radiant Greninja, and then like consistent Ionos, you have so many Earthen Vessels to like thin your deck out really, really heavily. It could be really worth investing in a Fez in here just for the late game, so you just find all the combo pieces you need. I could see another benefit. Like, I could see you potentially putting another counter catcher in here, or Precious Trolley's really good, but if you bump your ball search up to 4/4, like if you add in a Nest Ball, I could see Prime Catcher actually being extremely solid in here as well, because Prime Catcher will let you just switch and bring something up, and then boom, you're good to go, and you just swing at whatever. You can find it off of Arven, which is really, really strong. If you're playing the Prime Catcher, because I don't think you need Precious Trolley. If you're like, the Precious Trolley is consistency over effectiveness. That's my like little interpretation there. It's more consistent, but it's less effective in terms of like the long game. However, if you switch to Prime Catcher, extremely more effective in the long game, but not as consistent in the beginning. And so you're really just relying on the luck of the draw to just get your Pokemon down. That's kind of what you're doing. I think if you're playing the Prime Catcher, you bump your Arven count down 1 or 2, add some research in. Also, just in general, this is like a general word of note, take out Turbo Energize. I haven't really used it much. The times where I have used it has been really good, but it literally just relies on you having the Arven in hand and then having Precious Trolley and the Turbo Energize in deck, and you have to have an energy in hand as well to use it. Not super unlikely, but it just never really felt optimal. Like the cards did never aligned for me to actually use it. So I'd recommend taking up the Turbo Energize, putting in another Powerglass for consistency's sake, because Powerglass is really, really strong at just prepping a Pikachu. Like, for example, if you're leading Pikachu and you're going first or going second, you can Vessel away an energy, grab 2 more, attach, pass, and then you get that energy back. So the only time Turbo Energize is really good is if you Turbo Energize onto another Pikachu on the bench, then your active one, you either need to retreat it, so it was a waste of an attachment anyways, or you need to get the Blissey Happy Switch to move those energies up, but you still need all that. Whereas Powerglass, if you just get it more consistently, you can just use Powerglass more. It seems pretty simple from there. So in terms of my ads, it would be a Powerglass for a Turbo Energize for sure. Throw in a Fez. A third boss could also be good if you don't want to play the Prime Catcher. But I think a change I'd personally make is get rid... I'm going to keep saying this again. It's really important. Get rid of this Turbo Energize. Put in a Powerglass. Then I would say add in maybe Prime Catcher. If you want to go down that road, I might try it. Add in Prime Catcher, remove a Switch, add a Nest Ball. I think that's a more natural evolution for this deck. It's naturally aggressive. You want to be able to find things really aggressively. The deck has the great benefit of you can be a single prize board turn 1 if you really needed to. You absolutely can be. You just don't put a Pikachu down and then you put it down the next turn, kind of like how Terapagos does it. Except it's a little more inconsistent because your deck isn't as thin because Terapagos has not Noctowl, Fan, Rotom. So keep that in mind, but it's definitely a strategy that you can employ. Now, another thing that I wanted to mention here, this deck kind of just gets cooked by Gardevoir. What you can do to mitigate that is you can put in an Iron Hands. Now, the Iron Hands is a little bit less effective. It's not necessarily as good in terms of like consistently getting it turn 2 going first, because that's really where Iron Hands is most effective, is if you can swing with it on the first turn of the game. And unfortunately, Hands can't really do that. Another card I would consider putting in here is Briar. I think Briar for sure. I mean, I'm sure you all know what it does. Not Birar, Briar. But turning your Pikachu and allowing it to take, like, to still maintain the 2-2-2 map is good. Like, extremely good. Because you're knocking out anything in the game. So I'm going to experiment a little bit more with this deck. I'm really happy with this build. I think this is definitely that consistent build and a consistent way to go. But I'm thinking so far in the future, this deck has been performing very consistently. Like, I'm consistently getting the combo off whenever I need it. I'm thinking I might want to go for a... I might want to go for a more aggressive direction. Again, a lot of the cards in here, like, they all have a purpose. They're all good. It's more a matter of finding a count you like and how you like to play the deck. I really like Clemont's Quick Wit. It's actually saved me an insane amount of times. Just healing 60 damage, and if you have to put both Pikachu in play for whatever reason, and your opponent swings and like they're playing Regidrago, and they go like hit the active 60 Dragapult on the Pikachu, Clemont's Quick Wit just completely heals the benched one, which is really, really important. It also takes 60 off the active, which means if you retreat it, they can't Dragapult it, because this be left at 190, then you take 60 off, which means it has 70 left. So that's a really key thing why Clemont's Quick Wit specifically is good. It's really just for the Drago matchup, or anything that's playing like Dusclops, and they're trying to set up a future turn. Like, for example, if you're playing against like Dragapult Dusknoir, and they like Dusclops the active, move 1 damage counter, or like even if they move 2 damage counters onto the bench, whatever, you Clemont's Quick Wit and you heal that Pokemon. So not only have they used Dusclops and okay, they've only gotten 1 Pikachu's worth of prize cards out of it, you're up a prize now, and you Clemont all that damage away. And then after, when they inevitably can't continue, like they can't KO that Pikachu, then you can Briar and use Gravity Mountain, take out that Dragapult, and boom, you've won the game. So that's a really, really strong. Again, you can employ this combo with different Pokemon. Pikachu just works the best as a Terra Pokemon. and it has a better, like a good matchup spread. I think it's really solid. It struggles with single prize decks pretty much. You can kind of fix that with Briar. You can fix that a little bit with Prime Catcher, because if you can consistently just boss things up every single turn, you might be fine. But that's what I have to say about this deck. I'm really happy with it. Sorry, one more thing. You might want to consider, as much as these Chanseys are funny, they can be Curumed. So if you get rid of this Chansey and you add in the Chanseys with 120 or 130 HP, 130 preferably, because then they can't be double Dragapulted, I think you're gonna have a way better time. But that's just me. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. What do you like? What do you dislike? Which keep would you change about this list? I'm reading all my comments. I gotta go through and respond to all of y'all, but I have actually been reading you. So I appreciate it. I appreciate all your support. Thank you so much. Go buy a playmat. I'm going to put up a Christmas sale probably by the time this video goes up. So look out for that. Get one for your loved ones or for yourself this holiday season. And with all that said and done, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the Hitmonchanning channel. And until next time, Hitmonchanning is out.